44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the feel like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweets. Coming like we coming, you can't even.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the feel like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweets. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till death do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch, bless your heart. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. U.P.K top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that line to a damn tank. I got chopper stash in the attic like they Air Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See, I'm throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in, I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real.
Trap exempt.
Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through. We know that you real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you.
No.
Well, I just wanna fall.
That's all you say you. About 5 minutes.
Waiting and to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers, because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through, we know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you, but I just wanna fall on you, to show the devils you ain't nothing to play with. I raise my children up to say the same shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Come on, West.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Rocking this shit. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Look, I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe it. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, VJ. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. Mama grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'm gonna back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas, we eat. I'm in this bitch with the ivy. Say, all y'all do the sweet. Tell y'all to do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us, hit the league. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my targets on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we tanks. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it low to the T. UPK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on, right?
They say they wanna hear that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move in caution. Cause if they make the wrong move, it costs. See me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hear that raw shit. I'm on my way. Coming up on my bullshit. They see me, they like, ooh, chemo shopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket. Can't nobody stop. house, call me mouth boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow boy. Shorty like that, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. So I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Woo, keep on sobbing, got this bitch off the hand. Got this juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, this is salt. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it coach
Hundred 125th Street used to be a high top shopping area 10, 15 years ago. 10, 15 years ago, there was so many vendors on 125th Street, the vendors was right next to each other. Black people came from all over America to shop on 125th Street. They came in from California, from Florida, from Texas. They came in all over. And the vendor on the street used to make money. The reason I always argue it, because you know what? When I was a young man and my family was struggling in the projects in the Bronx and my mother could barely pay her rent, I went down to Harlem and got with the brothers and they set me up with a table in Harlem and I made money on that table. I paid my rent on that table. I fed myself. I survived because I had that table, man. You know how small that table was? You know them tables you buy in Walmart that you eat your dinner on, them little pop-out tables about that big? That's how big my vending table was. And I fed myself. I didn't beg a white man for welfare. Go check the record. I ain't never been on welfare. I stood up on my own 2 feet because the brothers showed me that I had a right to stand up and be a man. I had a right to live. I had a right to not be depressed every day. I had a right to not become a drug addict every day. I had a right to prosper, man, and be as a man as that white man has been himself.
Right.
And I went and vended on that table, man. And I struggled on that table. And I made my money on that table. And when I got strong enough, I went out and taught black people that the white man is the devil, the Bible speaks.
That's right.
That's what I went out and did. You understand? And Giuliani came along, that low-life bastard. Rudolph Giuliani came along, and he took away all them brothers and sisters' licenses, wiped them out, locked them up if they came out there to vend on 100 in Harlem, where Harlem was all black. Nobody was complaining. It was peaceful out there. You didn't even need cops on 125th Street. And the brothers was making money, sisters was making.
Shalom, Israel. My name is Officer Kayad, one out of I.S.U.P.K, Jamaica. I.S.U.P.K started 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run by the man that you see in that video right now, Commanding General YAHANNA, the one man with the rank and the authority to lead Israel at this time. I say Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Barakatam to my brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatham, Yahweh Shai to my sisters. All right, the I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any Hebrew Israelite group. Let me just make that clear. You know what I mean? If you're not in the I.S.U.P.K, you're not in the truth. The I.S.U.P.K is the foundation. All other camps or so-called camps stem or broke off from the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? So if you learn that you're an Israelite, the teaching originally came from the I.S.U.P.K. All right, just did want to say that. All right, so today we have an interesting class. See? And I mean, of course, today is our scripture breakdown class. The scripture breakdown class. I'm filling in officer of 1,000 Abadawan. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can do the class justice. You understand? Because he's an excellent teacher, Officer Abadawan. But we have a topic today, a Nigerian. You know what I mean? Backtrack. Zin, So this was, you know what I mean, the ISUPK's invasion of Times Square. You know what I mean? We all know the videos of Commanding General YAHANNA blasting in Times Square. See? And those are epic videos. Those are videos that helped me to come into the truth. You understand? Because I remember watching, you know what I mean, Commanding General YAHANNA surrounded with crowds of white people, you know what I mean, just blazing, you understand, at the oppressor, blazing, surrounded by multitude of white people, you understand, and Commanding General YAHANNA was not afraid. And when I first saw those videos, I was impressed. You understand? I wanted to know who was this brother who is so brave to stand up against our oppressor in the middle of Times Square. You understand? Blasting and telling the white man that he's a devil. And that is the devil the Bible speak of. You understand? Zin? So those are some epic videos. But yesterday, Commanding General YAHANNA went back to Times Square, you know what I mean, ground zero. You understand? And it was epic again. And this time, a Nigerian came in front of the camp on his knees to apologize for enslaving the Negroes. You understand? Because as we teach, you know what I mean, and as we have research, and this is fact, then it was the Africans who sold, you know what I mean, the children of Israel in slavery. You understand? Contrary to what we learn in school, that one, we are Africans. Then, two, that Africans sold Africans into slavery. We have always, you understand, the ISUPK and the Commanding General YAHANNA has always said that no, it was Africans, native Africans, who sold black people or the children of Israel to the oppressor, the white man, in slavery. But because you have Rastafariism, you know what I mean, championing the cause of, you know what I mean, the African movement, and we had brothers like Marcus Garvey, who was sincere, who just didn't have the truth, you understand? It has been embedded, you know what I mean, along with the education that we were Africans. It was embedded in us to think that we are Africans. It is a difficult thing to get out of the minds of our people that we are, you know what I mean, that we are Africans. You know what I mean? It's a very difficult task because our people, you know what I mean, for the most part, they have trained us to not be critical thinkers. See? So once our people look and see that, well, they took us from Africa, them black like we must be them. You understand? That's where it stopped. You understand? And then we analyze the Africans and see how barbaric they are and how, you know what I mean, how vile they are, and then we think of ourselves as being just like them. So as a result, we treat each other as vile as the Africans treat, you know what I mean, them one another, not knowing that we are not Africans. You understand? And as a matter of fact, we are the chosen people of the Most High. It is our records inside of the Bible. You know what I mean? We are the Hebrew Israelites. You understand? Yashar Allah, according to the scriptures in the Hebrew. You understand? Prince of the power. That is our name, the people who were called by the Most High's name. You understand? That is us. So this evidence prove that, you know what I mean, we are not Africans. It takes our people to hear it from the horse's mouth, you know, in order for them believe, you know. We have been saying it all along. We are not no damn Africans. You understand? The Africans sold our ancestors into slavery. But when we tell our people, as me say, the strength of Rastafari brainwash, you know what I mean, and the Marcus Garvey movement and the Black Conscious movement, you know what I mean, Muta Baruch and them, you know what I mean, the strength of their brainwash is very strong here in Jamaica. So when you tell a Jamaican that we are not Africans, it's like you tell them about their mother. You understand? But we are going to show you today. You understand? We are going to play the tape of this Nigerian who knows his history, who knows that we and them are not the same people. As a matter of fact, the reason why we were sold is because we were not them. You know what I mean? It was a conspiracy. Them sell we, but them never sell them own people. You understand? It was a conspiracy. He knows. He never lost track of his history. Him know him a who, but guess who don't know them a who? The people over here in Jamaica, the people in Trinidad who were brought over here on slave ships. You know what I mean? The brothers in North America, our Judite brothers, they don't know who they are, so they just call themselves Africans. But the Africans know who they are. The Africans never lost their history. And them know who you are, and them always, you know what I mean? Them always hold the point that you and them is not the same people. They always say it. You understand? But guess what we do? We befriend the Africans. Zin. We build music about Africa. We know this famous Garnet Silk song, Hello Mama Africa. So melodic, you know what I mean? Which makes me wonder if that's why the Most High killed that brother, because guess what, one? This brother was praising Selassie and he was bigging up Africa so much with that excellent talent that the Most High give him that no African have. You understand? We all know the song Hello Mama Africa, but we are not Africans. Not in a, you know what I mean, not by a long shot. We come from a different bloodline of people, and that is the reason why the Africans sold us. You know what I mean? Because in essence, we were invading force in their country. We were overrun by the Romans in Jerusalem. See? And we had to flee into Africa. As a matter of fact, fleeing into Africa was us following the instruction of YAHANNA. You understand? He said, when you see Jerusalem compassed with army, basically he was prophesying the destruction of our kingdom. So he said, when you see Jerusalem compassed with army, to the mountains, and the mountains were in Africa. So we fled into Africa, you know what I mean, amongst, you know what I mean, people of the same skin tone as us, because we were fleeing from the Romans. The Romans were white people. So the best camouflage that we could, you know what I mean, put on was to flee amongst other dark-skinned people who were not us. But this would confuse the Romans. However, the Romans did not relent. You understand? And they conspired with the natives of Africa because we became a nuisance. We became a nuisance to the Africans because we were a better people. You understand? We were a more intelligent people. We were more educated. We were more civil. The Africans were, you know what I mean, were running up and down naked and all sort of thing. We wore clothes. We follow laws. You know what I mean? Of course, we broke the Most High laws, you know. Hence the reason why we had to, you know what I mean, leave our homeland, because the Most High was angry with us. But for the most part, we kept a lot of our traditions, which was way superior to that of the Africans. You understand? So when we come down in Africa now and we build Timbuktu, and we build, you know what I mean, we build colleges, and we build all these things in Africa. African, them bad mind, them don't want to see that. You understand? And we were stronger than the Africans. So them could beat we neither. You understand? So it seems as if we were taking over their land. You understand? But a warrant was out for our arrest, so to speak. See? Because the Romans were out to destroy the children of Israel. You understand? That was the job of the Roman. They had killed YAHANNA, our king, which the world called Jesus Christ. And they were now persecuting all the Israelites who believed in YAHANNA. See? So the persecution continued. You understand? But this African now came in front of the camp to let you know, look, all this time commanding General YAHANNA was right. You are not us, and we are sorry for your slavery. See? So we're going to play that part there, the tape. Remember to like this video. You know what I mean? Follow us on TikTok. You know what I mean? Share. You know what I mean? Make snippets of the video. Pass it around. You understand? Share on all social media platforms. If you're on YouTube, just, you know what I mean? Like the video. Share on Facebook. You know what I mean? If you have a WhatsApp account, just create a group. Add your contacts to that group. Share the video. See? So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into the tape. All right.
Illustrated in the confession of sin, abuse, and conspiracy. forced to name names, men jailed in the basement of City Hall almost never accused slaves from their own wars. Instead, the men they named came from across the city. So in the 1700s, just like today, they lock you up, told you if you don't snitch, you get in time. Who did the so-and-so and so-and-so? They've been doing that since the 1700s. Y'all talk about no snitching rules. Nigga, please. Everybody snitches. Every one of you Negroes snitching on each other. You ain't got no brotherhood in these guys. Y'all all telling on everybody. Everybody taking the deal. Okay? Everybody taking the deal. Go ahead. Give me one more, Q. Let me tell you something, man. This is good. You African? From where? Nigeria. From Nigeria. And are you on your knees because you recognize what the Nigerians did to black people? What did they do to black people? Hey, give him a hand. Give him a hand. For those of you that didn't hear what he said, this Nigerian is on his knees because he said, we sold you black people. Hey, give him a hand. Give him a hand. For those of you that didn't hear what he said, this Nigerian is on his knees because he said, we sold you black people as slaves. This is what he's saying right now. He's recognizing that slavery was part and parcel because that's what I mean. You Negroes want to be African. Africa, Africa, Africa. Here's a real African. Here's a real life Nigerian right before your eyes. And he said, we sold you in slavery. I'm on my knees to make penance for it. I'm on my knees to apologize. I assume you apologize. He's on his knees to apologize. Black people, you should see this, man. Don't be afraid. Ain't nobody gonna harm you. Come on up here and see this Nigerian. See it for yourself. See it and learn. Learn that you are not an African, that you are God's chosen people, that the Africans sold into slavery in America, man. Right. And this man is admitting it right now today, man. Hey, man, thank you very much for telling us the truth. Now, he's recognizing that slavery was part and parcel because that's what I mean. You Negroes want to be African. Africa, Africa, Africa. Here's a real African. Here's a real life Nigerian right before your eyes. And he said, we sold you in slavery. I'm on my knees to make penance for it. I'm on my knees to apologize. I assume you apologize. He's on his knees to apologize. Black people, you should see this, man. Don't be afraid. Ain't nobody gonna harm you. Come.
You know what I mean? Who the real prophets of the Most High are. You understand? This confirms. Every time the ISUPK go out on the road, there's something miraculous. You understand? It's like the Most High have to show a sign whenever the ISUPK touch the road. You understand? If it's not some white person or white couple or group of white people bowing down and kissing the boots of the ISUPK, this does not happen in any other so-called Hebrew Israelite organization because the Most High is not with them. See? It is only the ISUPK. You know what I mean? That's why we call ourselves the home of the truth, because if it wasn't for the ISUPK, you would not have these imitators running around. You understand? They are disobedient children. We are calling them home. Commanding General YAHANNA is calling them home, but they want to be leaders. Them don't want to follow orders. They want to be leaders. But anyway, every time the ISUPK touch the road, something like this always happens. There's some miracle. And personally, being in the ISUPK, you know what I mean, you see it more clearer than, you know what I mean, when you're outside of the ISUPK. You understand? The real prophets of the Most High are in the ISUPK. We are the school of the prophets, and Commanding General YAHANNA is the head prophet. Your Christian pastor is not a prophet. Your Rastafari leader, you understand? Your Bobo Camp priest is not a prophet. You understand? That fake Hebrew Israelite that you are learning from is not a prophet. He's a disobedient child. You understand? The prophets are in the ISUPK. You know what I mean? Time and time again, the Most High have to be proving this. All right. So the African, this Nigerian, said, you know what I mean? He apologized for the slavery of black people in the middle of Times Square. You understand? All right. We don't know how when the ISUPK touch the road, it is not all over the news. You understand? Of course, the media see the ISUPK as, you know what I mean, a terrifying force. Let's not say the media, let's say the authorities see the ISUPK as a terrifying force. You know what I mean? Masculine men, boots and braids, studs, you know what I mean? Spikes. Of course, we are terrifying, but you never see this over the media. Because guess why? No publicity is bad publicity. And they don't want to give the ISUPK no publicity whatsoever. None. They don't want the world to even know that we exist. Because you see, once this message go out, once the ISUPK, you know what I mean, become a staple in every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian home, this kingdom is going to fall. You understand? And this kingdom is falling right before our eyes each day. You understand? We see it each day. The more the ISUPK grow, the more the influence of the ISUPK spread, the more you see this kingdom fall, the more plagues you see come. Because remember, you know, when the Most High sent out Moses, you know, to, you know what I mean, to Pharaoh, you understand? That was when the plague started. You understand? The ISUPK and a commanding general, Yahanna, is that Moses of this time. You know what I mean? And America and Britain and all the lands of the oppressor who enslaved the children of Israel. Those are Egypt. You understand? So the more you see the influence of the ISUPK going out, is the more you see this kingdom falling. The more coronavirus, the more monkeypox, the more every disease under the sun. You understand? You will see, you know what I mean, come upon this wicked kingdom. Every disease. You understand? All right. So this Nigerian, we're going to play the tape back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. See? But we're going to jump into some, you know what I mean, some books to show you, to quote, you know what I mean, just to prove to you that we indeed are not Africans. You understand? So we're the first book we're going to jump to. We're going to jump to the Zondervan Bible Dictionary to show you who is an African. Zin? If you have questions, please just leave it in the comment section. Zin? Again, I'm sitting in for Officer Abadawan today. You know what I mean? So, and just bear with me, isn't it? All right. So this is This is the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. This dictionary explains every term inside of the Bible. If you want to understand the terms in the Bible, you know what I mean, and you want historical references to terms in the Bible, it is the Zondervan Bible Dictionary that you should go to. You understand? So this is Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. So this is Ham, right? Ham is one of the sons of Noah. You understand? We are showing you who the Africans are. See? And we're going to show you the difference between us and them. See? Let me continue reading. And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark races. So Ham, you understand? We know about Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? These are Noah's sons. You understand? However, was the progenitor of the dark races, talking about the very dark races. You understand? Because at this point, everybody was dark skinned, but was, you know what I mean, exceptionally dark. See? Let me continue reading. Not the Negroes. Let me read that again. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. So even though was the progenitor of the dark races, he was not the Negroes. The Negroes were not Ham. You understand? Who are the Negroes? The Negroes are who they brought over here in chains. You understand? These are the Negroes, but they are not Ham. But who is Ham? Since we know who are the Negroes, because they call us Negro every day. So we know we are the Negroes. We don't really see them call Africans Negro. You understand? But we know we are Negroes, or them call us Negroes. See? Watch this. Let me show you who Ham is. See? But the Egyptian. So Ham is an Egyptian. See? So the dark races, one of them, the Egyptians, which we know the Egyptians are dark-skinned people. Very dark-skinned, right? These are Hamites. You understand? Where's Egypt? In Africa. You understand? Egypt is in Africa. So Ham is an African. Who else? Let me continue reading. See? The Ethiopians are the Cushites. See? So the Ethiopians are Ham. So you have the Ethiopians and the Egyptians who are Ham, right? These are Africans. Let me continue reading. See? Libyans. Where is Libya? Libya is in Africa. So we have another group of Africans which, you know what I mean, descend from Ham. But remember, not the Negroes. The Negroes are different. You understand? The Negroes are different from Ham. See? Let me continue reading. And the Canaanites. So, wait. We don't know no people on the face of the earth right now called Canaanites. But we know Egyptians, we know Ethiopians, and we know what's the next one? Libyan. So, could Canaanites be a real people? Yes, they are. And you know who are the Canaanites? The South Africans. They are the Canaanites. You understand? The Bible is not a fairy tale book, you know. The Bible is a real practical history book. It sounds religious because the Christian church had them grasp on it. When it's just, you know what I mean, the history of the Hebrew Israelites. That's all the Bible is. However, when Christians see God in the Bible, a power in the Bible, they make it religious. When in fact, your two eye them can tell you said a power was involved in the creation of this earth. A God is responsible. So there's no religion surrounding God. Not because you see it talk about a power inside of the Bible means it's religious. Because your everyday living relies upon a power. You understand? You don't know when you drop asleep, you don't know when you wake up. You understand? Even the function of your body, you know what I mean, for the most part, all you know about is, you know what I mean, you move your hands, you move your mouth, you don't control whether your eye can see or not unless you lock it. You can't control your body is what I'm saying. So you know that there is a God. You understand? Because you did not create yourself. And if you say, boy, if you want to say, I'm a mother, I'm a father, create me, because Jamaicans tend to get very ignorant when they make them statement then. Well, guess what? Your mother and your father was trying to have fun. They did not want you. You were an accident and a mistake. And when your mother find out that she was pregnant with you, what she do? She cuss your father. So your mother did not create you. As a matter of fact, if your mother could have reversed, many of our mothers would have. So your mother and your father did not create you. When your father here say your mother, you know what I mean, pregnant, and start scratching me, and I said, boy, where am I going to do you know? Your father did not create you. You understand? The mechanism inside of your father, your mother that created you, they did not create that. Them don't know nothing about that. All they were trying to do is have fun. So take God out of religion. The Most High is real. You understand? And I think most Jamaicans know that. With or without, you know what I mean, any kind of religion. See? So we just showed you a while ago that the Negroes, see, they are not the Africans. You understand? And this African, this Nigerian know this. But why this Nigerian know that, you know what I mean, we are different? Because this Nigerian was never cut off from his history. This Nigerian that apologized for the slavery of black people, of the Negroes, then knew that we and him are not the same people. He never lost track of his history. But guess who lost track? The Negroes. When the Negroes came over here in chains, our language, you know what I mean, our culture, everything was beaten out of us. You know what I mean? We were threatened with death if we were found reading. So we couldn't even read, especially the Bible. The Bible was spoon-fed to us by the oppressor. And Christianity was taught to us and not the Bible. You understand? But once the Negroes, who are the children of Israel, got the grasp on the Bible, you understand, without the influence of Christianity, then it all start to come together. You understand? Then you start see slavery in the Bible. Then you start say, but wait, them people and me have the same thing in common. Wait, Jesus, YAHANNA is a black man. Oh, we never learned that inside of the Christian church. You understand? Then you see that there was a conspiracy. And indeed, there was a conspiracy. You understand? And the conspiracy was cut the children of Israel off from them heritage. Last them in this world put them to work to make us rich and never give them history back. You understand? And the oppressor was successful in doing so. Very successful. I have never heard of anything else more accomplished. Nothing else carried out was more successful than them cutting us off as a people. Right now, the children, millions, hundreds, literally hundreds of millions of people here, over here in the Western, you know what I mean, world, in the new world, don't know who they are. Don't know who they are. That is nigh unto miraculous. How did that happen? That was because the Most High was not with us, because we continuously broke his covenant. You know what I mean? And this is a punishment. You understand? So we're going to jump to some more readings in. And we're going to show you that not only were, you know what I mean? Let me jump to the book of Babylon to Timbuktu. Right. So we're going to jump to the book Babylon to Timbuktu and show you, you know what I mean, what took place, you know what I mean, after Yahawashi Mashiach died, after Christ died. See? This is the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, which is a I.S.U.P.K staple. See? You want to learn real black history? Come inside the I.S.U.P.K and the Commanding General YAHANNA. Learn your history. You understand? All right, so this is paragraph 2, page 84. See? And it said, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. Right, so 65 years, you understand, before our king came on the scene, the Romans started to rule. They overthrew the Greeks. We were in slavery under the Grecians. Them overthrew the Grecians. Now we became their captives. You understand? This was 65 years before Christ was born. You understand? Let me continue reading. So it's a General Pompey captured Jerusalem. General Pompey, you know what I mean, is mentioned in several books. You understand? Let me continue reading. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state. So 70 years now after Christ died, them eventually destroyed Jerusalem, or destroyed the Jewish state. Them call it Jewish, but it's really them destroying Jerusalem. You understand? Overthrowing us as a people. See? With great slaughter. So they slaughtered us. They slaughtered our people. You understand? Them totally massacred our people. Them starved us out to the point where we didn't have food nor water. We were eating our babies. You understand? It was terrible. You know what I mean? Christ told us that this was going to happen, and he said, when you see Jerusalem compassed with armies, flee into the mountains. Some of us listened, some of us didn't. You understand? Those who believed in Christ, they listened. But those who did not follow Christ, you know what I mean, they just, you know, ignore it, and they were the ones eating them babies, and, you know what I mean, they died in that siege. You understand? Let me continue reading those. See? During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. You understand? During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. All right, so this is how we fled into Africa. You understand? This is how we ended up into Africa. Not only this way, you know, but at this period, from this time frame, you understand, over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. These are the people who actually listened to Christ when he said, flee into the mountain. And during that period, you know what I mean, around 1 million of us fled into Africa. Over the years, many millions of people. You understand? But let me continue reading. See? Fleeing Roman persecution and slavery. So we were fleeing from slavery and Roman persecution. Let me continue reading. The slave market were full of black Jewish slaves. You know what I mean? So the slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. You understand? Them call it Jewish, but it's really the Israelites. You understand? So we were the ones being sold. You understand? And in many cases, we were being sold by Africans. You understand? Because those pictures somebody fleeing from them homes, in not having anywhere to stay. They are many times vulnerable. You understand? So we in Africa, we became vulnerable as a people. You know what I mean? Whenever there were break-offs, you know what I mean, the Africans would capitalize on that. And they were heavy in the slave trade. You know what I mean? That is how the Africans made their money. All right, so we're going to jump to another book. Zine, we're going to jump to another book and we're going to show you how more Jews, you understand, fled into Africa or ended up in Africa. Zine, remember to like the video, you know, remember to share it around, you understand, and follow this page. If you're on YouTube, you know what I mean, like the video, leave your questions. You can also leave, if you have questions, you know, on TikTok, you can just leave your questions, you understand? That we there for, you know, we there for answer on the questions, see? Also on YouTube, leave your questions. Facebook, leave your questions. You understand? All right, so this is now a book called Last Tribe and the Promised Land, see? So this is page 33, and it said, the rioters set fire to the gates of the Jewish quarters, killing many of its inhabitants, forcing many more to the baptismal font, and sold some of the women and children into slavery in North Africa. You understand? This was what was taking place with the children of Israel. You understand? This was a time when we were in Portugal. You understand? We were in Portugal. So many of us did not follow Christ. We did not flee into Africa. Instead, we fled into other European countries. You understand? We fled into Portugal, Spain, all over the place. You know what I mean? The Most High scattered us like he promised. We have to read them scripture, the short, you see? So we fled all over the place. And everywhere that we went, we were persecuted. You understand? We are showing you from times from 70 AD come up, you know. You understand? 70 AD was nearly 2,000 years ago. This was where the persecution started. You understand? Our history don't start in slavery. Zane, it started way, way before. The problem that we face started way before slavery. You understand? So when we were in Portugal, we were being persecuted and many of us were murdered and sold into slavery in North Africa. So many more of us ended up into Africa. You understand? Not only, and guess what? Not only 1 million of us fled from Jerusalem to Africa, it was much more. But during that period of time, it was about 1 million. So over time, we accumulated millions and millions of people in Africa because guess what? We no longer had access to our homeland. The Most High kicked us out. Same like how he kicked Adam and Eve out of the garden. You understand? He kicked us out of the garden because we never want to keep him laws. You understand? We'll jump to another part of this same book. See? One second. All right, so this is page 34, and it said, the government of Majorca sought to protect its Jews, evacuating them from the valley, from the villages into the capital at the first sign of trouble, and sheltering them in the fortress there when more radical measures seemed necessary. In that maritime community, evacuation to North Africa was a readily available recourse. So not only were we, you know what I mean, sold into Africa, we also migrated, or was allowed to migrate to Africa. See? So throughout the years, you know what I mean, throughout the centuries, there has been a migration of Jews from Jerusalem, from Europe, you understand, from Jerusalem to Europe, from Jerusalem to Africa, from Europe to Africa. Eventually, we all settled in West Africa. You understand? Because eventually now we met up with other Jews and then now, you know what I mean, knowing that the Africans are enemies. You understand? Many of us went off into practices, you know what I mean, into the Africans' custom and all them things. Hence the reason why the Most High was not with us up until till this point. So we fled into Africa, accumulated on the west coast of Africa, but we were still being persecuted by the same oppressor. You understand? All right, let me jump to some scripture, you know, see? I jump to some scripture, you know. Deuteronomy 27 and 1. So this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 27 and 1. You understand? And it said, and Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. All right. This is where it all began. See? So Moses, you know what I mean, got the commandments from the Most High to give to the children of Israel. You understand? And Moses gave it, him and the elders gave it to the children of Israel and said, keep all these commandments. Let me jump to 28 and 1. 28 and 1, it said, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee an eye above all nations of the earth. You understand? So that was the promise. If we kept the Most High laws, you understand? The Most High will set us an eye above all the nations of the earth. You understand? That was the promise that the Most High gave us. But on the other hand, there was, you know what I mean, a punishment if we did not. Let me jump to verse 15. See? Verse 15, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So if we did not keep the Most High laws, then curses will come upon us. You understand? So when we jump to the curse them, see, we will jump to verse 32. 1 second. Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. You understand? So this happened during slavery. You know what I mean? When our sons and our daughters were sold. You understand? Ripped from out of the mothers and, you know what I mean, sold off into slavery. You know what I mean? By the Africans to the oppressor. When we came over here, we were sold from plantation to plantation. You understand? This constantly happened. You understand? Our children were taken from us and we couldn't do nothing about it because guess what go on? We didn't have any strength. You understand? Because the Most High was not with us. You understand? Let me jump to another one. Verse 64. See? And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. You understand? So that is what happened to us. We were scattered across the entire globe, so to speak. Predominantly, we were brought over here in the West. You understand? First scattered in Europe. You understand? We were being deported. You know what I mean? Racially profiled. When I tell you about from in the dark ages, you know, man. Then racially profiled, persecuted. You understand? Till many of us were deported, kicked out. You understand? A long time we are get deported, you know. You think I know this thing, as the Bible says, you know, there's nothing new under the sun, you know. Then we are get deported from in the dark ages. You understand? They might kick us out of Europe. You know what I mean? They might sell we off in Africa. You understand? We are flee from country to country because we were constantly persecuted. You understand? And it never stopped till we over here and still under the same persecution. Nothing no change. Nothing at all no change. We in Jamaica, I don't feel like we're at home because we are not at home. You understand? We in Jamaica and we just can't put the finger upon what really are going on. You know what I mean? Oh, we as a people are suffer so long. Slavery done so long. But yet still we as a people, we still are suffer. How that? What go on? What wrong with we? You know the saying, boy, something wrong with black people, you know. Something wrong with Negroes. Something wrong with the Israelite. You understand? And that thing that is wrong with us is us not keeping the Most High laws. You understand? Firstly, we don't know who we are as a people. You understand? So we end up in all kind of religions. You know the reason why we in so many religions, it is us seeking our identity. Because something is missing. All right, a Chinese man, see? Him know who him is, so him know which God him for serve. You understand? There's nothing missing. It make him connection with whatever God them serve, which is not really a God, but that is their culture. See? The white man, he make film connection with, you know what I mean, with white Jesus, Christianity, the bastardization of the Bible. You understand? So that is their spirit, that is their connection. There's no void in them. You understand? Them certain, them confident in who they are. You know what I mean? The Arab, Allah. You know what I mean? Them confident, them know know the God that they created. You understand? Them know the culture that they created. They were never cut off from it. But you see, we just can't put our finger upon it. Yo, something missing. There's a void. And you see that void is these laws, statutes, and commandments. We breaking the Most High covenant and being cut off as a people. So when we are here in Jamaica now and I suffer, boy, we just, sometimes we just feel like we give up as a people. We just feel like we just surrender and say, boy, I better we just dead here, man. There's nothing to life because there's a void. We don't have that connection. You know what I mean? Many of us, as I say, go off into different religions because we think that is where we are going to get our identity. That is similar to, you know what I mean, Adam and Eve putting on the fig leaves, you know what I mean, which is, you know what I mean, synonymous with them putting on different identities because they broke the Most High law, see, or broke his instructions, see, and then now they were cut off. So them put on fig leaves because now them feel naked. That is how we feel over here in Jamaica. And in North, Central, and South America, we feel naked. So we try to put on these fig leaves. You understand? We try to put on, you know what I mean, Christianity, Rastafariism, Catholicism, you know what I mean, Islam, because we lose our identity as a people. We're naked. You understand? So the Most High scatter us and we end up to serve other gods. Wood and stone, like what this scripture say. You know what I mean? Gods that our foreparents did not know. Even wood and stone. That wood and stone is Christianity and Islam. That is the dominating gods that we serve over here in our captivity. You understand? The wooden cross of Christianity is the wood. And the stone is the Kaaba stone in Islam. I'm pre this. I'm pre why this is very important for us come back to our covenant. You can't live without it as a people. There's no surviving as a people without us coming back to our covenant. Because you see, once you serve another God, you are going to serve the people who created that God. So if, you know what I mean, if you serve Islam, then you now become a second citizen to the Arabs. See? Because you worship a God which, you know what I mean, come from the Arabs. The Arab God, if it had any power, would most likely give the Arabs, you know what I mean, preeminence over you. More likely. If you worship Christianity, you become a second citizen to the oppressor. No, you can't, you basically make yourself as a willing slave to the oppressor. If you worship Christianity, you become a second-class citizen. And then you wonder why the oppressor is able to do what he do. You know what I mean? All the racial profile, all the racism and the murder. He's able to do that because you willingly worship him, God, and don't worship your God. Him can do that. He have jurisdiction over you because you gave it to him. You understand? Now when you serve the Hindu God now, then the Hindu them start get bright by you now. And you know what I mean? Because you don't know your identity. Here in Jamaica, the Chinese them get disrespectful and our people defend them as if them find it funny. You understand? The Chinese is able to call one of our sisters duns in a very respectful way because that is not how him talk, which I do a video upon it, which you can check out and know what I talk about. See? The Chinese disrespect a sister calling her duns in a very polite way, and our people agree that she does. You understand? Not knowing that that is not how the Chinese talk when them call you dunce behind closed door. No. When them call you dunce behind closed door, the whole of them call dunce. No. See? The whole of them call dunce. You understand? But when you go put out a TikTok video now and say, boy, if you dunce, yeah, and you know me work with you, but if you dunce and you're not sorry for you. See? That is him doing it politely. But the spirit behind it still there. He's willing to come on social media and call you dunce. That take, you know what I mean? That take some level of courage and disrespect to come out on social media in the country that is predominantly the people who is calling dunce, who feed him, who patronize his business, that him can send for him pick them go to school to get an education, so that them don't be dunce like, you know what I mean, like we. Him is so confident that he can come on social media and respectfully call you dunce. And a fool, you know. We see that him do it respectfully, you know. We're not ignorant, you know. But we can see the spirit behind it and know that it's disrespect. That is sneak this. And our people is blind to sneak this when it comes to the heathens. You understand? But when one of your brothers sneak this, or a misunderstanding occur, you are willing to go at your brother's throat. But the heathens then get away with murder. That is because you're still a slave. And you're worshiping every other different culture and religion. And you don't come back to your law, statutes, and commandments. So that void, even the heathens realize that you have a void, that you're lost. So you can do whatever they want with you. They make money off of you in your own community. You make them rich, and them look on you and say, oh, you there and you poor, and we just come here and we rich. You must be an inferior people. You understand? Look how we kill off on one another. You must be an inferior people. The heathens look on, you know. Because remember, you know, them never lose them identity, you know. So you will look on your people and I say, oh, something wrong with them people, you know. But the heathens, them look on you to and I say something wrong with the whole of you know. You understand? Because them I look from outside in. But you look from inside in and you are say something wrong with them as if you are not a part of us as a whole. You have to realize that something is wrong with us, and that is the fact that we don't have our identity as the children of Israel. That was what was being kept from us. We need to come back to that. Let me read the scripture again. Verse 64, Deuteronomy 28 and 64, and it said, the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. You understand? That is your problem. All right, let me show you something. See? There is one God, one power in the universe. One. You understand? Him have angels, or what we call angels. You understand? We work for him. Them control creation and everything. See? That same power, that same authority created the earth. See? Him created all race of people. Every race of people upon the earth him created. You know who him pick for being special people? You. Him pick you. You understand? And after him pick you, him say, all right, this is how me do things. Keep these laws, see? And keep them to the T. Me going to make you rule these other people that I created. You understand? That is the deal. And him say, look, don't break them laws here, you know. See? Don't break these laws, or I'm going to punish you. Because he's a father. He's a father to us. Hence the reason why our name is Yashar Allah, Prince of the Power, our sons of God. He's our father. Him deal with us like a father, which me personally, me not understand why. Because me I say, we are not nothing. But him deal with us like father and children. And him say, you are my special people. Me I go use uno and me I go make my will be done upon the earth. Just keep these laws, keep my covenant and rule. See? That is our, you know what I mean, relationship with the Most High, you know. But our people, guess what our people that want to think that is unfair? And that is because of Christianity. because Christianity brainwash our people that, you know what I mean? God love everybody. Now when we come tell you that God don't love nobody but you, you say we wicked. Meanwhile, everybody hate you. Meanwhile, everybody treat you bad. Meanwhile, the Chinese come here, exploit you, and give nothing back to your community. You say we wicked because we see it and say that is an injustice. And we say, look, the Most High love you, don't love the Chinese. You say we bad when we are looking out for your best interests. And we are telling you that you need to come back to your true history, your true culture, so the Most High can get you off of the bottom of society. It's a question I ask myself from time to time. Our people don't tired of being the bottom of society. Looking at your garrison where you live right now. Looking at the ghetto. See? Looking at the garrison. You know, sister, your people alone in the garrison. Look on your sisters them and them behavior in the garrison. Every day you look and you say, boy, why we behave so as a people? You know, see Chinese are behave so. You understand? You know, see nobody else in the circumstance where we a suffer and a behave this way. You don't want a change. You don't want better for your people. This is the only way. Come back to the last statutes and commandment and watch your people excel as a people and come up out of the low state to them. This is the way to do it. But you have to come back to your identity. If you don't come back to your identity, you're going to just be like a headless chicken as a people, not knowing which direction to go, not knowing where you come from, and you're going to end up in every trap where the oppressors and the other nations set out there, and you're going to be like a prey. The Bible calls us a prey. See? Because we, our leaders, I'm going to show you something. Part of the problem is our leaders. The major problem is our leaders because our leaders have given up on us. So what them do? Them link up with the heathens who have the moolah, who have the money, and them sell you down the river. You understand? That is what our leaders do. So instead of trying to make life better for you, them just take money from our oppressors and allow them to oppress you. That's why we always tell us, look, you don't have any leaders but the I.S.U.P.K and the commanding general, and we are your only leaders. Andrew Holness cannot. If he wanted to, he can't be a leader. You understand? Andrew Holness, when he Mark Golding, even if he want to, even if it fly up in him head one day, if he say, and Mark Golding is a heathen, see? But even if it fly up in him head one day, if he try make life better for you, he cannot do it. You understand? Because the only solution for you is to come back to the last statutes and commandments. All right, I don't want to stray too far from this point to me a touch point still. You understand? All right, so we'll jump to another book. See, I kind of move little fast, but I have to move fast. See, and just bear with me. See? All right, so we'll jump to another page in the book. See? All right, so this is page 21, Last Tribe on the Promised Land. See? And it said, so look here. One second. All right, so you had a thing named the Catalan map. Zin, before you add the globe and you have the cardinal points, you know what I mean? You have they call it longitude and latitude and all them things there. You used to have a thing named the Catalan map. It wasn't as accurate as, you know what I mean, as the map today. It was more like estimation. So them draw, say, boy, in relation to this landmass, when you go north, you will find this landmass, and what they would do, they will use pictures to indicate which landmass they are talking about. So if they are talking about England, they would have show the king of England. If they are talking about the desert, they would have show camel. And you see two to pyramid. You know what I mean? That was a Catalan map. You understand? But on this Catalan map, look, you know what I mean? We want to pay attention. This is page 21, you know what I mean? In the same book, Last Tribe and the Promised Land. See? Let me read from Yasso. See? So were there theories about where the lost tribes might be, talking about the lost tribes of the house of Israel. Understand? Most of these assuming that they had continued wandering eastward from their original exile, the remotest corners of the Oyakumins. All right, so this was common knowledge back in them time that the Israelites, the lost tribes of Israel, were wandering. So we were, you know in a Jamaica, like when somebody now have nowhere to live and them have to just catch everybody had. It was common knowledge that we are catch everybody had. See? So people used to, you know what I mean, speculate. So with them they know are, you know what I mean, which group of people them that over there so know? And you know what I mean, are them over there so? Or them end up over there so? That was, you know what I mean, how the world would be speaking about us then. Yeah, this time frame. I have to check the book to get the specific time frame, but these are notes. See? Let me continue reading. Or perhaps even beyond on the Catalan map, near the inscription about Antichrist, but farther out on the unknown ocean. So this was on the Catalan map, you know, this was a map that people pass around and use as them direction to know where, you know what I mean, where certain landmass is. See? Want to listen. See? Ocean sea beyond Asia is yet another inscription. It reads, Isaiah the prophet, saying, I will send those that escape of them unto the nations of the sea, into Africa, and to Lydia, and to the islands far off, that have not heard of me and have not seen my glory, and they shall announce my glory to the nations. So, you know what I mean? On this map was an inscription of Isaiah, and the quote was the most, basically saying the most I would scatter the children of Israel. Why am I read that a while ago? This was common knowledge among all the people of the earth, based off of the map that they used, that the children of Israel would be scattered, and many of them would end up in Africa. You understand? So we live in this time now where we not even know that we are the children of Israel. It is only the I.S.U.P.K have a draw for them thing, and make you know what really took place in the past. See? It is the I.S.U.P.K have to do this. Your fake Hebrew Israelite groups, them don't even care enough to do proper research. You understand? In these times, this was in about the Dark Age. See? This map that the world used had an inscription on it that the children of Israel, they're in Africa, and them scatter throughout the islands, talking about the Northern Kingdom, talking about over here in the West Indies. They knew. It's just that, you know what I mean, as we get scattered further and further, you know what I mean, we lose more and more of our culture. And slavery was that final nail in the coffin that cut us totally off from our culture. But I'll jump to some more reading. And bear with me, see? All right, so I will read another part of the book to show you that we are not Africans, see? And there are many books, you understand? All right? All right, so this is from a book called Black Image in the White Mind, see? And this is page 75, see, in first paragraph. And it said, in Crania Egyptiaca, published in 1844, Martin pointed out that both cranial and archaeological evidence show that the Egyptians were not Negroes. So they had a clear distinction between the Egyptians and the Negroes. See? Let me continue read. As abolitionists and colonizationists as maintained, all right, the abolitionists and the colonizationists are two groups of white people. See, One want to abolish slavery and one want to, you know what I mean, ship us back over to Africa. This was in the time of Reconstruction, in the United States, right after the revolution, where them say, yo, this president free black people, when in fact he did not. You understand? Let me continue reading. See? And that in fact blacks had been relegated to the same servile position in ancient Egypt as in modern America. So they must say, you see, the same Negroes which are not the same people as the Egyptians, as a matter of fact, they were in Egypt in the same slave condition that they are in America. So them came to the conclusion that, look, these are the Israelites. These are not the Egyptians. You understand? Just like I read in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary that them said the Negroes are different from the Africans. They made that same conclusion. You understand? And them say, as a matter of fact, they were in slavery in Egypt. These are the people. So them know who them enslave. But as me I show you, it was, you know what I mean? It was, their duty was to cut you off from knowing who you are. And eventually, they accomplished that. You understand? All right, we'll jump to a scripture now. See, we'll jump to the book of Zephaniah. So look here. Let me jump to another book. Hold on, 1 second. 1 second. See, we jump to another book. You know what I mean? And this will come off the back of this African, like I show you. This African came in front of Commanding General YAHANNA camp yesterday in Times Square. Came, bowed down on his knees. I'm see him can show you. You understand? On his knees, right? That's the African right there. Zin, on his knees, Zin, to apologize for his ancestors selling our ancestors in slavery, because he knows that we are not the same people. You understand? And the Most High made him feel guilty that him come in front of Commanding General YAHANNA to apologize, because you know what these Africans realize? These Africans realize that the I.S.U.P.K are black people real leaders. These Edens, them no realize, them no recognize Al Sharpton, them no recognize Andrew Holness as your leader, you know. These people are just them puppets with them control. See? These Edens recognize Commanding General YAHANNA, because out of every black leader, them realize, say, wait, this man here talk the things them what we know. But Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and the Christian pastor, them and all of them not seem like them know what go on. The heathens know what go on. Our leaders either play dumb or them just don't know what go on. But Commanding General YAHANNA know what go on, and him not play dumb. And the heathens realize that. So when them come to confess them crimes, them come to Commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? Them recognize true leadership. Them realize that this is how black people leader for behave. Black people leader for all these other nations who oppress us accountable for all of the oppression. But Jesse Jackson and them not do it. Andrew Holness not do it. Portia Simpson not do it. Muta Baruka, you understand? Which is, you know what I mean? I don't know if I call him a Rasta or a Pan-Africanist. He's more a Pan-Africanist than a Rastafari. See, him not all white people accountable in a real way. He must say something, you know what I mean? Where's the result? The I.S.U.P.K have results. You understand? The I.S.U.P.K have white people that kiss the boots, you know what I mean, of the men in the I.S.U.P.K. The I.S.U.P.K is holding them accountable, and don't get it twisted, it's not just kissing off no boots. You understand? Our goal is rulership. You understand? That is what our goal is, rulership. We not do this for fun. This is not a church. You understand? We are not just trying to, you know what I mean? We are not trying to get black people money to make ourselves rich. We want to put the oppressor in slavery as he had us in slavery. That is what we want. That is what we pray for every day. Every day. We pray for the fall of this kingdom every single day. You understand? That is what we hope for. And that is what we are waiting on. But we are preparing the government for you. So that when this wicked kingdom collapses, you have a government to come to. When this kingdom collapses, you can't go to Andrew Holness, You can't go to Portia, you can't go to Mark Golding, you can't go to Jesse Jackson. Because if America fall, them boss fall. What do you think them are going to do? Them are going to flee with the riches that them rob. And them are going to make themselves safe. And then you know where you're going to left with? You're going to left with the gunman them. The gangster them. You understand? Which are those misguided Israelites, misguided warriors who do, you know what I mean, do have a cause to fight for. You know what I mean? Turning them anger on each other. You're going to leave in the hands of them if you don't have a government. You're going to have rogue police officers and rogue military officers taking things in their own hand. You understand? When America fall, who you going to run to? You need the I.S.U.P.K. We are your government. We are your government. That is what we are building. We are building the government, you know what I mean, of the Most High, for the Most High's people. So that when this kingdom fall, you know have somebody, you know what I mean, you know have something where you can turn to. Because trust me, brethren, no rules and no laws, no there in a chaos. You know what I mean? And destabilization. Because if America fall, nothing no name Jamaica again, brother. If America fall, there's no such thing as Jamaica. Look for 80 right now. You don't really have an 80 right now, you know. And America no fall yet, you know. The system in place don't fall as yet. You understand? And 80 is in shambles. Gangs run 80 right now. Misguided brothers. When America fall, what do you think are going to become a Jamaica? There's no such thing as Jamaica. No such thing. We need the I.S.U.P.K. That is what we are preparing. A government to get on through this time. See, when the nuclear bomb them start drop, sorry for sidetrack from the, you know what I mean, the original topic, but this have to be said. See, when the nuclear bomb them start drop, because we are currently, I'm going to repeat this, we are currently in World War III. It has not escalated to its full potential as yet. See, but we are in it. When the nuclear bomb them start drop, there's no such thing as Jamaica. No such thing. No such thing as Trinidad. No such thing as Haiti has already been destabilized. You understand? We're not going to need a government. And the I.S.U.P.K. is that government. So we are the prophets of the Most High. You know? We are the priests and the prophets of the Most High. And guess what? We are your government. You understand? You know what I mean? That is very important for me to make our people know. We are not a Christian church. You know what I mean? We are not singing hallelujah. You understand? We are not musicians. Even though some of us do music, that is like nothing to us. This is our job. To make sure, say, uno wake up. You understand? And come back to these laws. Because the time that is upon us right now, there has never been such a time in history. It's very dreadful. You know what I mean? Saying that it's dreadful is an understatement. The time that you're coming up against right now, it's the worst time in history. But you see, after that, it's going to be the best time in history for the children of Israel, because we will be ruling this earth. You understand? That is the secret of the Bible. You understand? That is the kingdom of heaven that the Christian pastor talk about but don't really understand. It's a kingdom that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, which are the 12 tribes of Israel, rule. You understand? The righteous will be in charge. You understand? But let me jump back to this. Zin? All right. All right. So this is Last Tribe on the Promised Land again, right? Page 53. All right. Let me read. The Romans, too, had first encountered Ethiopians as warriors. All right, so this is going to show you that in time past. All right, let me step back a little bit. This is a cut to the Rastafari community that loves to say that we are Ethiopians. A while ago, I proved through the Zandervan Bible Dictionary and through the Last Tribe and the Promised Land book that we are not Africans, and also through the black image in the white mind, and there are many more books. See? But the Rastafari community like to say that we are Ethiopians, and Ethiopia is our motherland and one bag of foolishness. See? We're going to show you, say, you know what I mean? In time past, see? Let me correct that again too. See? They like to say that the Israelites are Ethiopians. See? I'm going to show you that in time past, the Israelites, which we are, were not considered Ethiopian. You understand? So this thing about Israelites being Ethiopian is a new thing. Something new that. See? That is Rastafariism, fast food information. Does something with them ear, we tickle them ears. You understand? Some lie that the Ethiopians tell throughout, you know what I mean, throughout history. But further history don't corroborate that. You understand? Let me jump to this. See? The Romans too had first encountered Ethiopians as warriors in their African campaign and were beginning to see them predominantly as slaves by the 1st century. At one point in the Satyricon of Petronius, the roguish heroes are seeking some means of escape from a ship, and Encolpius proposed that they deceive their captors by dyeing themselves with black ink to look like Ethiopian slaves, because Ethiopians were very, very dark-skinned. See? Let me continue reading. Gitan made their sarcastic and startling reply, "Oh, yes, and please circumcise us too, so that we look like Jews." You understand? So I want to get what I just read a while ago. You know? So somebody, you know what I mean, proposed that, all right, for avoid slavery, let's dye ourselves black like Ethiopians. And somebody proposed sarcastically that, look, while we're at it, why we don't just circumcise ourselves like the Jews? In other words, Jews and Ethiopians were not considered the same people. But you can use this to understand that they were both black. You understand? So them say, while you dye yourself black, just cut off your foreskin too, so that them just call you Jews and done. You understand? So this is a cut to the Rastafari community that, you know what I mean, Ethiopians were Israelites. The ancient world did not consider Ethiopians Israelites. There was a clear distinction. You understand? So we just make that clear. You understand? All right, so now we're going to jump to the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and 12. See? I remember, you know, we brought out that Ham's sons, or Ham is the father of the dark races, the Ethiopians, the Egyptians, the Libyans, you know what I mean, and also the Canaanites. Those were the children of Ham. He was the progenitor of the dark race. You understand? But not the Negroes. You understand? So this is Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 12. See? And it said, "Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword." So that is the promise that the Most High gave to the Ethiopians. Why? Because the Ethiopians are complicit in the oppression of the children of Israel. You understand? The Ethiopians were very heavy in the slave trade. You understand? It was Haile Selassie who, you know what I mean, who the Rastafari community, them call him God. You know what I mean? And them call him the Christ, which will bring time and time again that is not the case. But it was him, however, who stopped Ethiopians from selling slaves. Who were the Ethiopians selling? They were selling us. The Ethiopians were selling the children of Israel. But Selassie stop the whole of that. So Rasta say no. Well, Rasta no know say we them did a selling it. But Rasta give him props to say, boy, see it Selassie no too depend, you know what I mean, the selling of other people. You understand? But the point we are trying to make is this. See, Ethiopians sold our people. And that is the reason why the Most High promised to kill them with the sword. You understand? Let me jump to the book of Psalms, chapter 83. See? So okay, that's a sidebar a little bit. So let me say. Alright. Alright, so this is the book of Psalms, and it tells you all the nations that are complicit in our oppression and our slavery. See? This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83. We'll start at verse 1. And it says a song or psalm of I.S.U.P.K, which is a prophecy. You understand? Keep not thou silent, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. Verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. You understand? So these people are the Most High's enemy. See? And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. See? Who are the Most High enemies? Let me continue reading. Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thine hidden ones. So the Most High enemies, see, have consulted and taken crafty counsel against the Most High people, his hidden ones. Why does it consider why does it call the Most High people hidden ones? The reason why it call them hidden ones is because we are hidden. Nobody know who are the children of Israel today. If it wasn't for the I.S.U.P.K bringing it out, you know what I mean? No one would know that black people and Hispanic and Native Indians are the children of Israel. No one would know that. See? That's why the scripture calls us hidden ones. Let me continue reading. See? Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. And that is the conspiracy where our people don't understand. And we look so low upon ourselves that we say, boy, why they would have want to cut we off? You know what I mean? We're not important. And that you need to understand how important it is. There is a complicit. You understand? All these nations are complicit in trying to hide your identity. Let me continue reading. Zin, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. You understand? Who did it? Let me continue reading. Verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom. Who is the tabernacle of Edom? That is the oppressor. You know what I mean? The white man. See? This is one of the nations who are complicit. You know what I mean? Who came together in one consent. You understand? One of them. See? And the Ishmaelite, who are the Ishmaelites? I know some should have drawn for the book that tell you that the Arabs are just in slavery today. Arabs are the Ishmaelites. Slakia. See? The Ishmaelites are the Arabs. See? Of Moab. Who is Moab? Moab is the Chinese. So the Chinese, you know what I mean, ruling on top of us here in Jamaica, you know what I mean, is by no accident. Not no accident. They know who you are. We not say every last Chinese know who you are. We not say every oppressor, you know, we not say the everyday oppressor know who you are. You understand? We not say the everyday, you know what I mean, Arab know who you are. But rest assured that their leadership and the people that are important in their countries and are their nation know who you are. You understand? Let me continue reading. And the Agarenes, verse 7, Cabal and Ammon. Ammon is the Japanese. Amalek. Amalek is the so-called Jew or the Jewish man. You understand? The man that took your identity, which is Edom as well. He's an oppressor, is the white man. But he stole your identity. You understand? These are the nations that are complicit in your slavery. Let me continue reading. See? The Philistines and the inhabitants of Tyre. The inhabitants of Tyre. These are Africans. You understand? So not only are the oppressor, the white man, involved in your slavery and involved in trying to keep your identity a secret. You have the Chinese, you have the Japanese, you have the Arabs, you understand? You have the fake Jew, and you have the Africans. You understand? So when you see the ISUPK come out and blast, when we blast and we, you know what I mean, we charge the oppressor for the crimes them that he did to our foreparents. And we tell you that we don't love the heathens, we love our people. We know what we are saying. We not just get up and, you know what I mean, hate the people them for nothing. We hate the fact that they oppress our people. And them oppress us today. Today in Jamaica, the Chinese oppress us. You understand? But because, all right, let me tell you something about Jamaicans, our people, which we need to get out of, you know what I mean? We need to get this type of thinking out of our mind. We find it flattering when other people behave like us, which is really stupidity, which is you basically giving away your culture. You understand? When other people come, you know what I mean, and speak like you find it flattering. When you were discriminated against for speaking like you, the patois where you speak, people discriminate you for speaking it. You understand? But when the Chinese speak it, you clap. You know why you clap when the Chinese speak like you? Because you look down by yourself. Because you say, see it, that is proof that I am somebody. Because dear, our master speak like us. I do a video that, you know what I mean, a white girl seemed like she born in a Jamaican thing, but she was white. There was this, you know what I mean, she got great attention on social media because she spoke patois, and everybody was so, you know what I mean, flattered and rare. So I do a video upon it and say, what's the big deal? And everybody basically was attacking me because I say, what's the big deal if an oppressor speak like us? That is the thing. Our people is flattered when oppressors behave like us. You understand? They are flattered because them really look down upon themselves. So, an oppressor speaking like us is confirmation that we are not dark shit, that we are somebody. You understand? Because we consider ourselves dark shit. You understand? And that is a problem. And that this same spirit allow them to steal everything from us because we are so happy to see them do it. Watch this now, see? Reggae music. No, we don't own reggae music, and the heathens them own reggae music because we were so flattered to see them do it. No, them take it, them gone with it. You understand? We dance all, you know what I mean? Them exploit it when them ready. We dancing. All of them little thing there, all of the little, you know what I mean, flavor where we have. Because we give it, you know what I mean, willingly to them. Now them own it. Now guess what? If we want to do a show, if we want to get work as artists, then it is the heathens who have to, you know what I mean, book us. No, we not have no show really. You know what I mean? Sunfest here in Jamaica, who run it? Joe Bogdanovich, an oppressor. Then Sting get locked down. You know what I mean? Of course, there's thought that Sting will come back this year. Why am I bring up them things? Because these are the things that put money, our culture, our music, put money in poor people pocket here in Jamaica. Just the regular, you know what I mean, flavor that we have is the only means that we have to come out of the poverty. Education now do it for we, for the most part. You understand? This system marginalized we have completely. So it is the everyday thing that we do that others find, you know what I mean, entertaining and find, you know what I mean, amazing, that is able to put food on our table and take a man out of the garrison. You understand? So we have to defend it because that's all we have in this wicked kingdom. See, that's all we have. So Sting was, you know what I mean, put on the back burner for a while. Them a promise to bring it back. You know what I mean? And whilst you have Champion in Action, you have so many shows that we used to keep that would give our entertainers, you know what I mean, some money in them pocket that we control. No, we don't control nothing. If we want to do a big show, we have to go to Japan. Now the Japanese, them have them own artists. The Japanese, them have them own artists right now. See? Them if you want to book you, you have to beg them to book you. Remember, say the music and the culture is the only thing you have, you know. Do the maths, you don't have nothing else. And your original culture, which is the Bible, and the covenant that you have with the Most High, that for the most part, you don't know nothing about, which we are trying to give to you. But the music that you created while over here is the only thing you have. You understand? So we have to defend it. You understand? We have to defend it. All right. Slakia, TikTok. We might have to close out on TikTok. As a matter of fact, we're going to close off the class shortly. See? Just remember to like the video and share it around. See? So we're going to jump back on topic. All right. We don't want the phone battery seem like it's about to die, so we don't want to stray off and close up the class. All right. So Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, verse 8. Asher is also joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot. Selah, do unto them unto the Slakia, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kisan. All right, so this is a prophecy basically to tell you who are the ones that are oppressing you. And this is the other nations. If you read the Bible, you will understand why. Today, you look at an African like, well, because of the brainwash, you look at him like he's, you know what I mean, you are an African, but, you know what I mean, to the normal mind, you would look at him like, well, that's another race of people. But if you read it from the perspective of the Bible, you will realize that, you know what I mean, these are not your friends. At no point the Most High call these Edens your friends. The Most High say, don't be like the Edens. You understand? The reason why we find ourselves in this condition is because we want to be like the Edens. We want to worship their God. You know what I mean? We want to do what they do. We want to follow their culture and break the Most High covenant. When we have the best culture, you understand? Let me stray off to, again into another point. The Africans, Zin, the Africans, the Nigerians, all the tribes of Africa, them take our culture as well. You understand? Over in Africa, dancehall music is their genre of music. Zin, them use that to make themselves rich, and we have to go to them in order to make money. Just the other day, you know what I mean? Just to sidebar again, Zin, Beanie Man went over to Africa and crowned, you know what I mean, this African DJ called, named Stone Boy, the Prince of Dancehall. And this is a lack of brotherhood because Beanie Man, and of course Beanie Man is no leader of our people, you know, but this does show a lack of brotherhood that we have against each other. See? He went over to the heathen and crowned him the Prince of Dancehall that put food on film table. See? When him there a bad mind, every other artist, bad mind him brothers. No one see our next brother rise. You understand? So this is a spirit that we have to get out of road, boy. We have to start be selfish with our culture and selfish when it comes to our people, because everybody, you know what I mean, everybody are work to the benefit of their own people, but we, you know what we are do? We are fighting on each other. You understand? We need to start be selfish. We need to start look on other people and say, no, you're not welcome. You're not welcome. You can't come in at this. You can't just come. If you want to learn with dancehall, you have to pay we patent it. It's patented. You understand? If you want to do dancehall music, you have to do it through our businesses, our, you know what I mean, record label, our something, instead of giving it away to them, because guess what go on? They are not oppressed. Them can build a platform, but you know, you can at any point, and can just lock the gate for you and you can't make no money off of the thing that you created. You understand? And that reach we, but you know what I mean? We'll close out the class still. You know what I mean? Big up to the people them who stick it through, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, start pre our classes, man. The I.S.U.P.K and come on in general, you understand? Start watch our classes. You understand? Learn your history. come back to the truth. You know what I mean? For brothers, Zin, brothers who want to be a part of the school. Zin, this is how you do it. Right? If you're in Jamaica and you want to be a part of the school here in Jamaica, this is how you do it. You understand? You have to watch your classes in all black. Zin, we're going to read that in the security announcements shortly. Zin, you have to do your 90 days. After you do your 90 days, you get your Hebrew name and then you now become a trooper. You understand? You have to participate in the classes. You understand? You have to be, you know what I mean, a participant, not just a viewer. You understand? You have to come to class in person, or you have to, you know what I mean, while streaming, participate. So we'll do like a double stream where you can read and so forth. You know what I mean? That is the criteria for now. Then you become a trooper after 90 days, get your Hebrew name, and then now you can start bear some responsibilities. Now you start get put to the test to see if you are worthy to be a part of the I.S.U.P.K. To see if you are a prophet of the Most High. You can be, you know what I mean, up under the ranks, under commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? Prove yourself. Forward. For sisters now, Zin, you come, you do your 90 days, then you get your Hebrew name, you know what I mean, and then, you know what I mean, the 90 days, and the 90 days is basically to shed yourself of the world. You understand me? Yeah, man. And then we have roles for you as well. You know what I mean? We have roles for the sisters as well. The sisters are very important to the building up of this nation. You understand? Of course, the sisters' job is not as the men. The men are the warriors, the protectors. You understand? The men go out on the road and, you know what I mean, them do the warfare, but the women, them have them role as well. You understand? So, without further ado, we're going to jump into the security announcement. Remember to like and share around, you understand? All right, so these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, and the commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew and is pronounced Ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation. So the next Holy Convocation is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet. You know what I mean? So the Most High gave us holy days. You understand? Of course, the Christian church and the oppressor gave us holidays, which is basically like plagiarism of what the Most High gave to us. See? So the Most High gave us holy days, which are, you know what I mean, like the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet, which is the first day of the 7th month. So we will celebrate this on the 25th of September. You understand? So just tune into the I.S.U.P.K, you know what I mean? Celebrate your holy day again, you know what I mean? Come back in line with the Most High again as before, you understand? Just on the 25th, just find the I.S.U.P.K classes online, you understand, and watch the holy days, you know what I mean, in the spirit of the holy day, virtually. If you need instructions on how to go about it, you understand, just call the number, you will find the number, you won't find the number. So you won't find the number on the TikTok videos. Zin, you will find the number in the YouTube and the Facebook videos. Zin. Slovakia. So you will find the number in the in the comment section, not in the comment section, in the description of the videos. So if you want instruction on how to go about it, you can find it there. You understand? Just call the number. See? So you can find the memorial of the blowing of the trumpet in the book of Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 to 25. All right. Reminding Akiam and Akwatiam to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say I.M.A.D.I.U.M, which means to stand. Sarwapanya Akwadam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in English. Abanawa, Shabashamayam, Wadash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Taba'a, Watazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baharataza, Kawa, Ayah, Pashamayam, Nafanlanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaklanawa, Kawabwat Nawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kawabwatianawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Anawa, Panasayawa, Abal, Awashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Ya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa Atapara, La Iwalamim, Amen. In English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever so be. Amen. All right, this is the prayer for the curses. Bless you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, listen to us now, right now. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brother and the school. Send evil and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake the treasure, the rich of Israel, that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites, and the nations, and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitatus, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers, witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction. All the evil that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go on through and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let the I.S.U.P.K, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that has done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of your I.S.U.P.K. Thank you, always so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the power in Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh, Ba'akoshat, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Larapa'a, Kalmakala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, Lata'ar, Amatazarayam, Hakak, La'akwayam, Amathiam, Hakak, Al-Rakawa, Atamala, Nagarashan, Ba'asham Yahweh, Tawara Aman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh, thank you, so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the blessings in Hebrew to bless Israel. Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh, Barak Lanawa, Wayasharala, Ba'a, Wayatsapariam, Barak, Rapa'a, Magan, Hagan, Commanding General YAHANNA, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, the young men and the sisters, Ba'asham Yahweh, Tuwara Aman. In the English, what we said was Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it. All right, sir, which means to turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel. Ahmadium Shabbat. Ahmadium Barak. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Barakatham. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters of Israel. Ahmadium Shabbat. Ahmadium Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba'asham Yahweh. Yadimata. Class dismissed. All right, remember, like the video. Salakia. Jerry Hutchinson. All right, respect from Dutchess County, upstate New York. All right, big up, brother. Shalom, shalom. All right, Facebook user, make sure the Baba Kasha. All right, yeah, man. I jump on the Facebook and make it sure. All right, Jerry Hutchinson said, here is the patience of the saints and the faith. Here is the patience and the faith of the saint. Yeah, man, that is the patience and faith of the saints. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, to rule this earth. You know what I mean? To be freed from this captivity. You You understand? As the Most High freed us from Egypt. You understand? Yeah, man. And with that, I will close out the class now. Shalom.
Yeah. On 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine in, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I get it, nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for it, I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping the fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspire. Cross the line, the firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the feel like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, find me. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Oh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. U.P.K. top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that eco line into a damn tank. I got chopper stash in that attic like they Anne Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See, I'm throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in, I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it up, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a made, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. They want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real.
On 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine in, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid, circle tight, yeah, that deal. Oh, they want my life, I ain't worried, I for real. I got regas, kill for me, watch yourself. They say you can be smart. You is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspire. Cross the line, the firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the feel like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told him I need major motion. Nigga, I'm joking. I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust. Now I'm too clean. Don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. U.P.K top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line into a damn tank. I got chopper stash in that attic like they had Frank. They had that shit on lock until I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides. Gotta choose your colors. See, I'm throwing that one up with that W. That's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy. I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel. I got time to kill. Haters thought I died. I survived. They don't know how I did it. Got it out the dust. Straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show the skills how I show the skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a made. Circle tight. Yeah, back and seal. Said they want my life. I ain't worried. I got Ray for real.
Exactly.
Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through. We know that you real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you.
I didn't change the word. I didn't change the scriptures. Nothing. Let's hear how this wicked man handled this with David. Come on now.
And when David's young men came, they spake to Nabal according to all those words in the name of David and ceased. Nabal answered David's servants and said, who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master.
You hear what he said to David? You hear what he said to David? In essence, what he said to David is what he said to you blacks and Latinos. He said, y'all ain't nothing, man. Who the hell are you niggas that you deserve anything? Who the hell are you Latinos that you deserve anything? You don't deserve nothing, man. You don't follow the rules. You don't follow the law. You don't keep up the law. That's what they said when it came to blacks and Latinos. The minute they went to Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort, what the hell did Donald Trump and the rest of them white men say? Oh, it's wrong. They raided our house. It was not right. When we were saying F the police, you said we are criminals. When we marched in these streets for murdering black men, you said we was criminals. The minute the FBI raided Donald Trump's house, now they calling the FBI criminals. I guess they understand what a nigga feel now. I guess Donald Trump understand what a nigga feel every day when he living in this city. You understand? I guess Donald Trump and them understand what the family of Breonna Taylor feel right now when they shot through her goddamn window and murdered her in her bed. I guess they understand what it means now. You white people have been unjust, man. And you better rethink what you're doing, because the Lord will punish you in a horrible way. The coronavirus, the monkeypox, AIDS, you only in the beginning of the plagues of Egypt, man. And it's going to be a horrible day if you don't get it right. Let me read this on. So this man was evil to David, the way New York City is evil to blacks and Latinos. And that's why Mayor Adams said, listen, man, I need a solution. I need a solution to black on black crime. We're going to bring it to the Bible. You didn't know black on black crime could be easily resolved if you opened up the Bible. If you opened up the Bible and were taught by the prophets of God, you understand how to fix everything in this city. Give me some more on that story real quick.
Shall I then take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be?
You hear how this man spoke? He spoke to him like this city does. Why do we as Republicans have to pay more taxes to feed you poor niggas? Why do we have to share our wealth with you Because we built you cities to make you great, you selfish pig, man. Because we served you for 400 years to make you an empire you otherwise would never have had. That's why. And all we ask is our fair share. And you wicked, wicked bastards who own these great buildings, who own these great businesses, who own these great theaters, who have gotten rich off of the backs of blacks and Latinos. You sit there and act like, what is you niggas' problem? Get a job, nigga. Get a job. Get a job. Here's what David said. Come on now.
So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those saying.
They went and told David. David was a righteous man. David was the man that God chose to bring forth the seed of Jesus Christ. David was the royal bloodline of Jesus Christ. Now I want to show, and wait a minute, get me right on this conscience up. Did not God say that David was a man after his own heart? David was a man with a heart just like the Lord. And here's what God, and here's the spirit that David was in. Listen to me good.
And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man.
Do what?
Gird ye on every man.
You know what it means to gird? That means to put on a leather belt. Strap something on you. Go ahead.
Gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword.
David told his men, go put your weapons on. Go get your weapons, man. We gonna go kill somebody. You wonder why you got black on black crime in the city? Why you being robbed at the ATM machine? You being carjacked in the street? Because you keep denying God's people their fair share of what they should have. That's why. That's why you're scared to walk down in the city at night. That's why you're scared to move about in the city at night. Because you've been cruel. You've been evil, God's chosen people, man. Right. And like any man, without having the knowledge of the Lord, the natural instinct of a man when you rob him is to take revenge on you and rob you back. That's his natural instinct. Lucky for you white people, Christ came to give our brothers a better way than to rob and kill you. Because if you leave this city to go the way it's going to turn into a bloodbath because of all the evil that has broken forth in this place, man. Even the daggone cops is halfway scared to death to come to work every day because this place is a mess, man. You understand? Which is why Christ is raising up a righteous army of men that walked like David walked, that did what David did, that followed Christ to do the right thing and to build the Lord's kingdom, man. Come on.
And David also girded on his sword.
And David put his sword on too. You don't want to be kind to us? You don't want to be fair with blacks and Latinos? You want to rob them, gentrify their neighborhoods, push them out, redline them in the banks, steal their property with different inspectors and touch charges? You want to do them dirty like that? Fire them first. Play games with their heart, mind. Teach them about your religion, that Jesus Christ was a white man. When the hell a white man come out of the Middle East? That's what the hell I'd like to know. How the hell Jesus Christ gonna be a white man when ain't no white man never come out the Middle East? You're a dirty, stinking liar, man. And why would you be so cruel to God's people? Why would you be so cruel to poor people? People suffering, people trying to pay their rent, trying to live, decently, and you lie to them and tell them Jesus is white. Keep believing me. One day you're gonna go to heaven. And meanwhile, they die. No brotherhood in these days. Y'all all telling on them. Everybody taking the deal. Okay? Everybody taking the deal. Go ahead. Give me one more, Q. Let me tell you something, man. This is good. You African? From where? Nigeria. From Nigeria. And are you on your knees because you recognize what the Nigerians did to black people? What did they do to black people? Hey. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. For those of you that didn't hear what he said, this Nigerian is on his knees because he said, we sold you black people as slaves. This is what he's saying right now. He's recognizing that slavery was part and parcel because that's what I mean. You Negroes want to be African. Africa, Africa, Africa. Here's a real African. Here's a real life Nigerian right before your eyes. And he said, we sold you in slavery. I'm on my knees to make penance for it. I'm on my knees to apologize. I assume you apologize. He's on his knees to apologize. Black people used to see this, man. Don't be afraid. Ain't nobody gonna harm you. Come on up here and see this Nigeria. See it for yourself. See it and learn. Learn that you are not an African. That you are God's chosen people. That the Africans sold into slavery in America, man. And this man is admitting it right now today, man. Hey, man, thank you very much for telling us the truth. You brought the truth out before us today. I know y'all want to get the whole boot kiss, but y'all ain't taking up my time. I see the whole time. I see the whole cast. I don't get me with that.